Hi, this is Tormod, and I would like to talk about schizophrenia. Um, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I am an ordinary guy working my way through my schizophrenia and exposing what I find. So, what I've come to understand investigating my own living, my own history, my own past, looking at dimensions from aircraft.com, looking at articles and information from destiny.org, and looking at myself and cross-checking this and that, I find some reality to what schizophrenia is. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia in 2003, but back then I was not giving any, what shall I say, practical understanding of what schizophrenia was. I was very much lost in the dark and a foggy place about what schizophrenia was, even though I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And I guess that is because they would read my symptoms and diagnose me with schizophrenia without being able to explain to me what is schizophrenia. There was only the symptoms. So what are the symptoms? Symptoms are voice in the head, conspiracy thinking, addictions of various kinds, um, confused, depressed, scared, paranoid, lost in reality, you might say, blabbering speech, nobody understands what you're saying, you're talking in codes basically. Yeah, schizophrenia, voice in the head, severe pain in the head, pain in the body, a lot of hallucinations, seeing things that other people don't see, seeing hallucinations, and basically living uh, on the edges of psychosis all the time. So what causes these then symptoms? Because symptoms is what comes to the surface, which what is playing out, you might say. The symptoms is what is playing out. The symptoms is what comes to surface. But what is beneath all that? What is the driving factors beneath that? One of the driving factors is that when you have schizophrenia, you basically have 2 or 3 personalities that are active at once, trying to play each other's out or fight each other out. 2 or 3 personalities active in the mind, in the head at once, trying to fight each other out to be in control of the being and being and body. There is 2 or 3 personalities that are active at once, trying to fight each other out. Also, you have the split mind. The mind would project itself into new mind units, like a cancer of the mind, you might say. The mind would project itself into new mind boxes, new mind units, new reality, which would leave me very heartbroken and confused and lost and in despair, because my reality would change like that into a total new reality. Which is why you have the blabbering speech, the conspiracy thinking, the all those concerning types of thinking. And from the personalities, the 2 or 3 personalities pin needles. The personalities would be fighting, and from that you would have voices, friction, noise, hallucinations, pain, and together with these personalities fighting and the reality shifting between mind walls and mind units and mind boxes, you are very lost and very scared and very confused, which is why you have all the symptoms of schizophrenia. So basically what I've come to understand is that I'm born schizophrenic. My schizophrenia comes from relations such as reincarnation, beingness programming, mind my language, beingness programming, mind programming, and a very, what shall I say, significant process of me becoming schizophrenic from before I was born, when I was laying like a little fetus in my mother's belly. And that's where like this reincarnation process would occur, and this placement of this schizophrenic illness would be placed upon me. So this obviously this goes beyond the ordinary, what should I say, mannerism or thinking of today's society, but that is my story nevertheless. And so these are some very brief guidelines to let you know what is schizophrenia. From the 2 or 3 personalities that are fighting, they're having a war amongst themselves in the mind. Also, you have the splitting of mind into new mind units, new boxes popping up, new realities that I have to live, or that I must live. And all the symptoms, all the voices in the head, the backshots, the nasty thinking, the paranoia, the fear, the conspiracy, which is something that I reckon one is born with. So this is some dimensions that I'd like to share with you. If you have questions about schizophrenia, about my process with self-forgiveness, to understand this, to really be able to map this out and see these things as clearly as I can, comes from walking my Destiny I process now for a little over 6 years, and working on mind constructs, and with self-forgiveness, self-correction, self-commitment, and self-honesty, finding self-honesty, and integrity and all that, and living life in honor of life, because that is the only thing with value on this earth. That is life, the only thing with value. So basically me finding myself grounded in my own body, stable in my own body, and being able to explain to you in a commonsensical manner how I see schizophrenia, how I experience my schizophrenia. So you can know that it's not an easy task, but it's something that we can work with a forgiving process of investigating self. Check out acraft.com. There is tons of information on all of your concerns. Check out destiny.org. And thank you for listening, and enjoy!